Welcome to the next edition of Court and Crime with our crime reporter Ali Al Shouk. And the top story, the story that you can see on gulfnews.com and our own social media channels, is the fact that the case of the missing parents of the boy found in the mall in Dubai has been solved. And Ali here has the details.
Yes, Dubai police recently they solved the mystery of the missing boy that was found at outside a Reef Mall in Murakabat area. Dubai police they got the boy on September 6. On September 7, they asked the public to help them to identify the boy and to know who's his parents. So the boy later, after a couple of days, he was transferred to Dubai Foundation of Women and Children. To look after him and to provide shelter and food until they identified the parents. Dubai police today, they said that they managed to identify the woman who actually brought him and handed him over to Dubai police. The whole story started 5 years ago, when the mother of the child, she delivered her baby, the boy, and after 2 days she left to her home country. She left the boy to be raised by her friend, and with a promise that she will come back later. But the friend kept waiting the biological mother for 5 years, and the mom didn't return back. So the boy was raised by the friend for 5 years. Finally, she was advised by another woman that she need to give the baby to another woman in Dubai. So she delivered the baby to another woman in Dubai. The second woman, she was raising the boy for also some time. Then she, because the boy need to have medical care, to be enrolled in his education and this kind of stuff. So she also couldn't. So a friend of her advised her that she fabricate a story that she found the boy wandering alone outside the mall, and she handed him over to Murakabat police station, which actually what she did. So Dubai police, they said after just 90 minutes of the news was circulating all around about the missing boy, somebody called Dubai police. He identified the boy and he claimed that he saw him with his mom in Sharjah. So in cooperation with Sharjah police, they summoned the woman who raised the boy for five years, and she explained what's happened. The thing is, the mystery took more than 12 days because Dubai police investigation, they made DNA test for the 4 women involved in this case to see if who's the mother of the boy. The 4 women, they are actually who raised the boy. The biological mother, she's outside the country, and Dubai police is still investigating with that. For the moment, the boy, he's in the Dubai Foundation of Women and Children, waiting for what's the next step will be. Because the 4 women now also transferred to Dubai Public Prosecution to finish the investigation, because they were looking after the baby for 5 years. The boy has no IDs, nothing, and he didn't join a school or anything. It's really a sad story.
Yeah, it's quite tragic actually.
Yeah.
The other story is a relatively earlier case, which is about the Omani bus driver.
Yes, the Omani bus driver. I think everybody remember the Omani bus driver who crashed to the height barrier and he killed 17 people and injured 13 others. It's happened on June this year. Today there was a session at the Dubai Court of Appeal where defense lawyers actually claimed that there was different errors that contributed in this accident. It's not only the driver mistake. The defense lawyer told the judges today that they made a report from a road expert to identify what kind of problems that was on that stretch of road. Defense lawyer claimed that the warning board and the height barrier, the distance was only 12 meters. The lawyers claimed for safety it should be at least 48 meters. So they claiming that their client, the Omani driver, it's not his full mistake of the accident. There are other elements that contributed in this accident. So, and they requested an independent expert or committee to examine the road and to provide a report to the court to identify the responsibility. It's either on the road or the driver.
Yes.
So they asked the judges, and the case been delayed to October 10th. To see the requests of the lawyers. The driver, he was originally sentenced to 7 years in jail, and he was ordered to pay 3.4 million dirham blood money fine earlier by Dubai Traffic Court. and but the driver lawyers appealed, and it's now at Dubai Court of Appeal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, another case that we are tracking and will be following up, and you can find it on the website to see the background and the stories that came earlier.
Yes.
Final story today that we have is a bit of a strange story. It's about a violent divorced couple.
Yes. Yeah, it's a story that came this week to Dubai Court of First Incidence. It's involving a couple who've been divorced. A woman, she's from Morocco. She went to the workplace of her former husband. She sat beside him on the car, and suddenly she just like put a knife on his throat. She threatened him. She issued death threats to him in order to return private pictures to her. So she assaulted her former husband, and so the husband also assaulted his ex-wife, and he insulted her also.
Okay.
So it was a mutual assault between both of them.
And that's the case against them right now.
Yes, but the ex-wife, she has an additional charge, which is, I want to talk about it. It's she flashed her middle finger to the husband in public, which is a serious offense in the UAE. I mean, flashing a middle finger, it might be normal for some cultures and for some countries, but in the UAE, if you flash your middle finger, it's an offense. It's
And you were
considered as
saying it could get you deported.
Exactly. According to the law, you can be deported if you flash your middle finger, because sometimes we hear or we see drivers who are angry, or you're pissed off from someone, so you flash the middle finger, you think it's okay, it's not an insult, but it's a crucial insult. According to the UAE law, the person can be deported just if he flashed his middle finger in public.
Yes, and speaking of which, there seems to be an increased amount of road rage and lowering road safety. So again, drive safe, stay safe, and control your anger.
Yes, inshallah.
And on that positive note, we end today's installment. Definitely log on again next week, as Ali will have more stories lined up for us. Thank you very much for joining us.